You're probably getting used to iOS 17 by now because you've been using it for the last couple of weeks. But it's time to take your knowledge of what it can do to the next level. Let's dive in. The first one we'll talk about, a cool feature that's designed to protect your eyesight, but that a lot of people are having issues with. Scroll up to screen time and tap on that. And some of the people I've talked to have actually turned this on accidentally. Come down here to screen distance, and I'm gonna turn this switch off. The people I've talked to that find this annoying are people who wear glasses, or people who don't have the best vision, especially at night. When they're in bed, they're holding the phone up to their face to be able to actually read easily without eye strain, but then the phone is saying it's too close to your face. Is having this switch turned off going to harm you? Well, it says down here that it's going to reduce the risk of myopia in children. So if you're an adult, I don't think it's probably worth the annoyance. For kids, maybe it's a different story. I am not a doctor. Before we move on, I want to apologize in advance to you. I'm going to be using the 4-letter S word a little bit in this next setting. Let's tap screen time in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, then tap settings. I'm going to go down a little bit to Siri and search. I'll tap on that. And this is a brand new iOS 17 feature. I'll tap on listen for, and here we have Siri or Hey Siri. I just wanted to mention this because if you're someone who accidentally activates Siri a lot, you probably don't want to make it easier to activate Siri. I think Apple has done a really good job with this, where I can use Siri in a sentence and it won't necessarily activate. But if you don't like this new Just Say Siri thing, you can go back to Hey Siri or shut it off completely. I will leave it on Siri. But now I gotta set up Hey Siri and Siri again. Next up, a new iOS 17 feature that normal people should just turn right off. I'll tap back and back to settings again. I'm gonna scroll down to music, don't usually go there. Tap on music, then I'm gonna scroll down to Crossfade. I'm a normal person just like you. I like blending soda and Mentos. I like mixing sour cream and onion potato chips with salt and vinegar. Normal. But when it comes to music, Crossfade is kind of dumb. Unless you're listening to EDM, I suppose, where everything has the same beat and you can't tell the difference between the songs anyway. Burn. But if you're a normal person like me, and your playlist is filled with country music and death metal, let's see what it sounds like when we mix them together. Can we all agree that that wasn't good? I like that Apple built this feature in, but I am turning it off. Before we move on, maybe you're not a Pay It Forward channel member, but you want to crossfade into being one so you get free PDFs in addition to a lot of other cool stuff. Click the join button below the video. That's the crossfade I like. Next, and speaking of music, let's head back to settings and head up to sounds and haptics. Tap on that. Ringtone, let's tap on that. It's time to turn off your old, tired ringtone that you haven't changed in the last 7 years. Well, let's be honest. There are some really cool ones. The one that I was really impressed with is called Radial. And that is a really cool demo of the spatial audio that your phone can actually do. It sounds very stereo. How does that work? Hashtag sample delay. I do have an ulterior motive for taking you to this section. If we go back, I would just like to show you how to make your phone as least annoying as possible for your friends. First thing, scroll down to keyboard feedback. Tap on that. Do we want to hear the clickety clacks every time you're typing the keyboard on your iPhone? I don't want to hear you typing. Turn off sound. Haptic is up to you. It's that little feedback. Can't really hear it from far away, but it does drain your battery life. Even Apple admits that. I'll turn that off. Tap back. We're not done. Lock sound? Do I need to hear the when you lock your phone? I don't think so. Do you need to hear it? Turn it off. System haptics. Let's turn that off too. It's okay. I mean, you press the button, you get a little feedback. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. It's gonna drain your battery, turn it off. Next up, tap back to the main page of settings, then tap on notifications, then tap on screen sharing. Okay, this is not a new feature, but there are a ton of awesome new features in tvOS 17 that makes this one more important than ever. And that's why I just wanted to bring it up to mention it. If this is on and you're FaceTiming on Apple TV, for example, now somebody can see your embarrassing text messages you're getting during the conversation. Do you want that? I don't. let's turn off allow notifications. And just as an aside, we have a video coming out soon about tvOS and these awesome new Apple TV features that were just introduced. If you want to be informed when that video drops, just click the subscribe button below the video. Next up, a new feature that all my rich and powerful celebrity friends who shall remain nameless love. Name drop. Let's tap back to notifications, back to settings. We're gonna tap on general, and it's actually not under name drop. We'll tap on AirDrop. Start sharing by bringing devices together. I'm gonna turn this off. I've heard stories where this feature is being triggered accidentally when people are in crowded situations. If you wanna try it, leave it on. But if you wanna protect yourself to the maximum extent, I would recommend turn off bringing devices together. Use good old-fashioned AirDrop. And just because you turn this off doesn't mean you can't take advantage of an awesome new iOS 17 feature, one of my favorites, called Contact Posters. Now we're gonna go to Messages. So we'll scroll up to Messages and tap on that. And then we're gonna go to Share Name and Photo. Tap on that. And here we have control over what people see when you call them. Contact Posters are actually customized posters that show up whenever you call someone in your contacts. So instead of just seeing the number, they get to see your face or whatever photo you want to show them, or an emoji or just some cool monogram, and they get to see your name however you want to display it. So that's actually really cool. And it updates automatically on their phone when you change this. So it's kind of fun. After you turn it on, let's tap on Edit, then tap Customize, and we'll start with Contact Photo. This is where you get to choose what photo you want to show up on their phone when you call them, obviously. You can crop the one you currently have. I'll tap Choose a different photo, because maybe I don't like this one I took. If you want to support my diet, you can subscribe to the channel, just saying. I'll just choose a different photo. Let's come out on here. Oh, look, it's me, Telluride, Colorado. Take this and, hey, it's Skier Dave. How you doing, everybody? Tap Choose. And now people are gonna see this, and of course it's Apple, I can change the filter. I'll just keep standard. Tap Next, and then choose your poster. I'm gonna say Photos, because I just selected that. And there you go, it's me in front of this thing, and you can swipe between different styles. Maybe it's just me, I'm just kind of hanging out, you can't tell what I'm doing. And I can pinch to zoom or crop it or whatever. I think I'm having too much fun, Zach. All right, let's say I like this, because I do. And I'm gonna tap on this though, and I want a fancier font that more reflects my refined personality and taste. So I'm set on that. I'll tap Done in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. David Payette, that's me. Let's tap Done in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and this is done. Now let's see how it works. I'll give this phone number a call. It's one of our studio phones. You can feel free to shoot us a message if you want. Let's see what happens here. It says David Payette, I can tap on that, and there I am with my fancy contact card. The reason it's actually showing up on this phone is that I have this contact in my contacts. So don't worry, if you call some random person, they're not gonna automatically get your picture. Did I mention there's live voicemail? Hey, how are you today, John? It's David here, and I figured I'd just give you a call while we're recording a YouTube video. Trying to test out this live voicemail thing that's new in iOS 17. At least I've heard that. Next up, a setting that's kind of like the Mr. Clean of settings. It's gonna help you keep your iPhone clean. I'll open Settings, and then scroll down to Passwords. And tap on that, Face ID, and tap on Password Options. And then turn on Clean Up Automatically underneath verification codes. I know that you, like me, probably get a lot of those 6-digit or now 7-digit passcodes in your text messages and also via email. This deletes them after you use them, as long as you're autofilling them using your iPhone. And that's really cool. Now your entire Messages app isn't gonna fill up with messages like these. Before we get to a super important camera setting, next we're gonna talk about a really cool camera trick that's gonna help you clear storage space on your iPhone. Let's head back to the Settings app. I'll open that up, and we're gonna scroll down to Camera. First step in this little cool trick. Tap on Camera, and then tap on Formats. And you have to make sure that Apple ProRes is turned on. I'll close this and open the Camera app. And then I'm gonna tap over to Video. Right now, beautiful video of the table, but this will still work. I'll tap this little ProRes HDR with the slash through it to remove that slash. And now I can see the max amount of time, 13 minutes, I can record ProRes on my 256 gigabyte iPhone. That's how big those files are. But I can tap free resources here. And then it says freeing resources. This is just clearing up storage space on your iPhone. This is really cool. And now it says max time 14 minutes. What? And then a link to storage settings. Sometimes you have to tap it more than once to free up all the space that you can. But if we head to the bottom here, you can see my system data is now 3.71 gigabytes, and I've seen it be a lot bigger than that before. And by the way, if you're looking for other ways to remove system data from your phone, check out our other video about that. Next up, an awesome new iOS 17 feature that everybody loves, including me, live voicemail. We're gonna scroll up to phone, tap on that, and scroll down to live voicemail, tap on that, and turn it on. This is an amazing feature. And another feature that I want to point out, if we tap back to phone, silence unknown callers. Turning this on was always an issue for me because I had no way of knowing who was calling me. And if it's a doctor's office or something, you might miss an important call. But with live voicemail, when they call, you can see them leaving the message as they are. So Apple has brought the answering machine back into the 21st century. Thank you, Apple. Next awesome new feature is called Standby. First things first, let's head back to the Settings app. Scroll up to Standby. It stands out too because it's black. Make sure the switch is on, otherwise it's not gonna work. Display, always on. When always on is enabled, the display will intelligently turn off when not in use. So is it really always on? What does that actually mean? It means that if your phone is flipped upside down, the proximity sensor is gonna notice that it's flat on the table and you can't see it, so it's gonna turn off the display, even if it's always on most of the time. We definitely want night mode turned on and motion to wake if you're someone who enjoys sleeping. Tap back to standby in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Show notifications, that one's up to you. If you're leaving your phone out in the open and you get text messages from your special friends who you don't live with, then maybe leave this one turned off. Otherwise, I'll leave it on. Now let's see how it works. Here we are in standby mode. All the way to the right is a clock. The middle one is photos. You have to unlock your phone to view the photos. How about that picture right there? Can't see a darn thing. And then all the way to the left is just widgets that you can go up and down on. Next up, passwords and passkeys. This is an awesome new feature. And at first I thought, I'm not gonna share my passwords. But then I realized I already am sharing my passwords for certain accounts. You might be too. And this is gonna eliminate those text messages where it's, what is the password again? I forgot. Here we go. I'll open settings and then scroll down to passwords. And tap on that, Face ID. Now I see the share passwords with family, and the truth is it could be anybody, not just your family. I'll tap get started and continue. And we'll stick with family passwords, why not? And I'll add a person, and I'm going to add John Upphone, my fake son, and I'll tap add. All right, so now we have a group. We've got me, we've got John, and we'll click create, or we'll tap create. Update devices to access shared passwords. It's pretty self-explanatory. Tap continue, and now we get to choose which passwords we want to share. I'm totally not going to choose a streaming service here. Notify John Upphone. I'll just say not now. So here I can see which which passwords I've shared with people that I trust. Last year with the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, Apple announced the very first 48 megapixel sensor ever on an iPhone. Awesome, except you can only use it if you took Pro RAW photos, which were over 10 times bigger than the normal photos you're used to taking on your iPhone. I didn't know why that was the case. I built a shortcut that helped you get around that, but it was a pain in the butt to use. Now, finally, Apple built this feature into the 14 Pro and Pro Max. So those of you who have those phones just got a free upgrade, you're welcome. Let's open settings, and we're gonna scroll all the way down to the camera app. Tap on that. Let's tap on formats, and this is where it gets interesting. First things first, make sure you have high efficiency turned on here at the top under camera capture. Next, let's turn on Pro RAW and resolution control, and then tap into Pro Default. We're gonna use HEIF, or high efficiency image format, I think is what it stands for. Something like that. If it's not that, you just tell me. HEIF max up to 48 megapixels. It says up to 48 megapixels because if you're zooming in or not using the main camera, it's not gonna be 48. These files, let's just zoom in here, are gonna be 5 megabytes for 48 megapixels. As compared to the 75 megabytes, it says a Pro RAW photo is gonna be for the same size photo. Yes, the Pro RAW photo has more data. Yes, it's more editable, but the iPhone camera is amazing and you're not gonna really see a big difference if you're not a professional photographer. But if you're taking photos and then hitting auto to correct it, then stick with HEIF max. Before we see how this works in the camera app, there's one more setting to talk about. Tap back to camera, and then tap on preserve settings, and then we're gonna scroll down to Pro RAW and resolution control, because we don't want this setting to change every time we close and reopen the camera app. Now that you can choose to have these small, super awesome photos, why wouldn't you want to take them all the time? Let's look at the differences here because they are absolutely amazing. Wow, can you believe that? And because we turned on that last setting in preserve settings, when I close the camera app and reopen it, I'm still on HEIF max, I'm still taking great photos. Now on to this awesome camera feature. I'll tap on camera, and then I'll tap record video, scroll to the bottom, and this is a new feature, lock white balance. Let's turn that on. What the heck is white balance and why is it important, you ask? Well, I'm here to tell you. Think of the paint section of Home Depot. You go in and there are a whole bunch of different whites. There's some that are warm, some that are a little blue or cool. In real life, light is like that too. If you're outside in the sun, white is going to be different than if you're inside under a warmer kitchen light, for instance. When you take video with your iPhone, the camera analyzes your surroundings and then picks the best white, or the right white, for the situation. Okay, Dave, if the camera does it automatically, why should I care about this setting at all? Well, let me answer you, other Dave. Let's say you're recording a video and you're going from outside to inside. The white is going to change because the sunlight is a different white than the inside light. So if lock white balance is on, you're outside, it looks like you're outside. And then when you go inside, it doesn't correct itself to look different. It looks like you're inside. The idea here is that when you're outside, you're filming, you go inside, the white doesn't change. So you can actually tell that you're inside, as opposed to if this feature is off, when you're outside, you walk through the door and everything changes. And so the white looks about the same on the inside, and all of a sudden your film doesn't really feel as genuine. So this is a really cool setting that I think probably everybody should leave on. And everybody knows that the iPhone Photos app is amazing at editing videos and color correction. Next up, let's talk about sharing. AirTags are great, but they're not perfect. The range of an AirTag is about 30 feet. The range of a Samsung Smart Tag is over 400 feet, but we're not here to compare apples to Samsungs. Let's hop into the Find My app and take a look at these settings. I'll tap Items, and let's say I want to share the location of my keys with John Upphone. Same guy. Tap on the keys and scroll down here under Share this AirTag. I'll tap Add Person. This would be super helpful if it was for luggage in the airport. You're getting off the plane and you have to go to the bathroom because you've been holding it for 4 hours. And your parents are there to pick you up, but they don't want to wait around. So dad's at the carousel picking up your bag. Super useful. Next up is one that's going to save Apple on their support costs, but also might compromise your privacy if you don't know how it works. Let's dive in. I'll open up Settings and scroll down to Face ID and Passcode. Tap on that. I'll enter my passcode and scroll down to change passcode. And we have to talk because in iOS 17, Apple completely changed what happens when you change your passcode. And it is less secure than it used to be. Let's say your conniving cousin Kurt gets a hold of your phone, cracks your super secure password of 1234, and now he's in the Photos app, in the hidden album, and he's up to no good. What do? You get the phone back and you change your passcode. So let's do that. I'll tap Change Passcode, enter my current passcode, and then enter a new passcode. I can't remember 6 numbers, so I'm gonna tap Passcode Options at the bottom. I'll choose 4-digit numeric code and pick a new super secure password. In the olden days, I'd be safe, but not anymore. In iOS 17, Apple introduced a feature called Temporary Passcode Reset. For the next 72 hours, you can enter your old passcode, which is the wrong passcode, and then reset it again to a new, different passcode. If you think that you can remember your 4-digit new passcode, then the safest thing to do is tap Expire Previous Passcode Now. I think this feature is designed to save Apple money, but it's not too good for you. This is where I'm supposed to ask you to subscribe again, but I'm not gonna do that because I have respect for you. Also, thanks for watching our video, and we'll see you next time. We'll tap back to Settings. We're gonna scroll up. Well, I just moved the whole damn phone. iOS 17 just came out with a ton of awesome new features, none of which Trudy is actually interested in, but you might be. Check this out. I am not a doctor. Zach's dad is a doctor, an eye doctor.
He'd help.
He'd help, yeah, we should have your dad on. Dr. Allen?
Yeah,
right?
it's Dr. Allen, yeah.
Dr. Allen.
Mm-hmm.